Have you ever experienced the sensation of sitting by yourself, surrounded by the serene quiet of your environment, accompanied only by the gentle rustle of the wind and the sound of your own thoughts? Solitude is not merely the act of being alone. It represents a deeper state of existence. It allows one to retreat into their own mind, away from the external chaos, creating a space for self-reflection and introspection. However, solitude can evoke mixed feelings. While some find it fascinating, others may feel daunted by it. In today's world, loneliness is frequently viewed in a negative light, often associated with social exclusion and something to be avoided at all costs. The digital age exacerbates this fear, as we are constantly connected to others through our devices, immersed in a sea of virtual interactions and distractions. The mere thought of disconnecting from this network and spending time alone with our thoughts can seem alien and unsettling. This apprehension towards solitude is known as monophobia, and it's more prevalent than many realize. But what if our perception of solitude has been misguided? What if solitude is not something to dread, but rather something to welcome? Could being alone actually empower us, acting as a catalyst for personal development, sparking creativity, and leading us toward inner peace? This is the transformative journey we will explore together. This video will delve into the minds of some of the greatest thinkers humanity has ever known, philosophers and psychologists who saw solitude not as a condition to be cured, but as a state to be celebrated. We'll explore the corridors of their thoughts, decipher the enigma of their wisdom, and attempt to understand their perspectives on solitude. From Friedrich Nietzsche's Ascent to the Path of Greatness, to Henry David Thoreau's Tranquil Existence. At Walden Pond, from Soren Kierkegaard's Embrace of Individuality to Roland's confrontation with existential isolation. From Carl Jung's Pursuit of Individuation to Jordan Peterson's insights on self-growth and resilience in solitude, each of these thinkers offers a unique lens through which we can view and understand the art of being alone. Thank you. As we embark on this exploration of solitude, let's first turn to the thoughts of one of the most influential philosophers of the 19th century, Friedrich Nietzsche. Born in 1844, Nietzsche was a German philosopher who left an indelible imprint on Western philosophy with his radical ideas about morality, truth, and most importantly for our discussion today, solitude. Philosophy was complex, filled with paradoxes, and provocative assertions that challenged conventional thinking. At the heart of his philosophy was a critique of traditional values and a celebration of individuality, vitality, and creative self-affirmation. For Nietzsche, individual self-affirmation was the ultimate objective, and he believed that solitude was a key element in this journey. A significant aspect of Nietzsche's philosophy that speaks directly to our topic is his concept of the path of greatness. Nietzsche believed that to achieve greatness, an individual must have the courage to stand alone, to step away from the crowd and its herd morality. He viewed solitude as an essential condition for personal transformation and self-overcoming. It was in solitude that Nietzsche believed one could confront the most profound questions of existence and muster the courage to become who one truly is. Consider this quote from Nietzsche. "The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. If you try it, you will be lonely often and sometimes frightened. But no price is too high to pay for the privilege of owning yourself." Here Nietzsche is telling us that the journey to self-ownership, to greatness, often necessitates periods of solitude and loneliness. It's not an easy path, but according to Nietzsche, the reward is the ultimate privilege of truly owning oneself. In another quote, Nietzsche says, "Loneliness is one thing, solitude another." This simple yet profound statement encapsulates Nietzsche's view of solitude as something distinct from loneliness. Loneliness, in Nietzsche's view, is a state of lack, a condition of missing others. Solitude, on the other hand, is a state of fullness, a condition of being with oneself. It is in this state of solitude that one can cultivate the strength and independence necessary for the path of greatness. The key takeaway from Nietzsche's perspective is this: solitude is not a state to be feared, but a condition to be sought. It's a crucible for self-transformation and the road to greatness. So if you find yourself alone, do not despair. Embrace the solitude, for it may just be the path that leads you to your greatest self. Our exploration of solitude carries us now to 19th century Denmark, to the thoughts of a philosopher who is often regarded as the father of existentialism, Søren Kierkegaard. Born in 1813, Kierkegaard's work centered around individual existence, subjectivity, and the personal journey of becoming a true self. His philosophy, much like Nietzsche's, emphasizes the importance of the individual, but also introduces a unique dimension to our discussion of solitude. Kierkegaard's philosophy is characterized by a deep introspective exploration of the human condition. His writings convey a profound understanding of the complexities of individuality and the existential challenges faced by individuals. For Kierkegaard, the individual's journey towards authenticity and self-understanding is paramount, and he recognized the essential role of solitude in this journey. Solitude, for Kierkegaard, was a crucial ingredient in the process of self-discovery and self-understanding. He believed that in solitude, one could confront the existential anxieties and despair that often accompany the journey towards becoming a true self. It is through this confrontation that one can find the courage to choose one's own way, to assume responsibility for one's existence. The crowd is untruth, Kierkegaard writes. Therefore was Christ crucified, because he, even though he addressed himself to all, would not have to do with the crowd, because he would not permit the crowd to aid him in any way, because in this regard he repelled people absolutely, would not found a party, did not permit balloting, but would be what he is, the truth, which relates itself to the single individual. In this quote, Kierkegaard emphasizes the individual's need to distance oneself from the crowd to realize one's truth. For him, the crowd is a symbol of inauthentic existence. The path to truth, according to him, lies not in the crowd, but in solitude, where one can genuinely relate to oneself. In another profound statement, Kierkegaard writes, "The more one isolates oneself, the closer one comes to oneself." Here, he captures the essence of solitude as a path to self-discovery. He suggests that isolation, rather than leading to loneliness, can lead to a closer relationship with oneself, facilitating self-understanding and authenticity. So, what can we glean from Kierkegaard's perspective on solitude? It's that solitude is not just a state of being alone. It is an existential condition that facilitates self-exploration and self-understanding. It's a sanctuary where we can confront our anxieties, grapple with existential despair, and ultimately find our authentic selves. Now, let's transport ourselves to 19th century America, to the tranquil shores of Walden Pond, where we encounter a man who not only pondered solitude but also lived it, Henry David Thoreau. Born in 1817, Thoreau was an American philosopher, writer, and naturalist. His philosophy revolved around the principles of self-reliance, simplicity, and a deep respect for nature. Thoreau didn't merely theorize about solitude, he sought it, lived it, and shared his experiences and reflections in his most famous work, Walden. Walden is an account of Thoreau's experiment in deliberate living. For 2 years, 2 months, and 2 days, Thoreau lived in a cabin he built himself near Walden Pond, away from the clamor of society. Thoreau immersed himself in solitude and simplicity. His objective was to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life. Thoreau's experience at Walden Pond was a testament to the transformative power of solitude. In his self-imposed isolation, Thoreau found a space to reflect, to observe, to think, and to write. His experience underscores the value of solitude as a means of engaging deeply with one's thoughts and the natural world. Let's look at some of Thoreau's words from Walden. "I never found the companion that was so companionable as solitude. We are for the most part more lonely when we go abroad among men than when we stay in our chambers." In this passage, Thoreau expresses a profound appreciation for solitude, suggesting that true companionship can be found not in the company of others, but in being alone. In another quote, Thoreau writes, "I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life, and see if I could not learn what it had to teach, and not, when I came to die, discover that I had not lived." This powerful statement encapsulates Thoreau's motivation for seeking solitude at Walden Pond, to live deliberately and authentically, to engage with life's essential truths, and to learn from the natural world. Thoreau's experiment at Walden Pond demonstrated the power of solitude as a vehicle for self-exploration and self-transformation. His solitude was not a passive state of being alone. It was an active engagement with his thoughts, his surroundings, and his very existence. He used his solitude as a mirror, reflecting on his life, his values, and his place in the world. Thoreau's reflections offer a profound and practical perspective. His words invite us to reconsider our own relationship with solitude. They challenge us to ask ourselves, how might we, like Thoreau, embrace solitude as a companion? How might we use solitude as a means of engaging more deeply with our own existence? His experience at Walden Pond suggests that solitude, far from being a state to be feared, can be a source of strength, clarity, and insight. It can be a catalyst for self-exploration, a tool for self-transformation, and a gateway to a more authentic and intentional life. From Thoreau's perspective, solitude is a pathway to deliberate living and authentic self-discovery. It's an opportunity to confront the essential facts of life without the distractions of society. It's a space where one can commune with nature, contemplate the mysteries of existence, and engage more profoundly with one's own thoughts. Our philosophical journey now brings us to the mid-20th century, where we encounter a man whose life and work embody resilience in the face of extreme adversity, Viktor Frankl. Born in 1905, Frankl was an Austrian psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor who developed a therapeutic approach known as logotherapy, founded on the belief that human nature is motivated by the search for a life purpose. His seminal work, Man's Search for Meaning, is a memoir written after his experience in Nazi concentration camps during World War II. The book intertwines his personal narrative with his therapeutic doctrine, illustrating his profound belief in the power of finding meaning in life, even in the bleakest circumstances. Solitude, as we'll explore, played a significant role in this process of finding meaning. According to Frankl, a sense of purpose is what gives life meaning. He proposed that we can discover this meaning in life in three different ways: by creating a work or doing a deed, by experiencing something or encountering someone, and by the attitude we take toward unavoidable suffering. It is here, in this third route to meaning, that solitude comes into focus. In the isolation of the concentration camps, Frankl found that solitude could serve as a catalyst for introspection and self-discovery. Despite the horrific conditions, he used his solitude to reflect on his life, to recall cherished memories, and to mentally rehearse future conversations and reunions. These acts of mental defiance, performed in solitude, helped him maintain a sense of purpose and hope. Consider these words from Frankl. "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way." This powerful statement underlines Frankl's belief that even in the most desperate solitude, individuals retain the capacity to choose their response, to find meaning, to preserve their dignity. Another profound quote from Frankl reads, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." This insight speaks directly to the transformative potential of solitude. In moments of isolation, when external circumstances are beyond our control, we are prompted to look inward to reflect on our values, beliefs, and life purpose. So, what can we learn from Frankl's perspective? His work suggests that solitude, even when imposed and painful, can serve as a space for introspection and personal growth. It can be a time to reconnect with our innermost values, to reaffirm our life's purpose, and to strengthen our resolve. We learn that solitude, even in its most painful forms, can be a crucible for self-transformation and a conduit for finding meaning. His life and teachings remind us that even in our loneliest moments, we hold within us the power to shape our destiny, to find purpose, and to navigate life with courage and resilience. As we continue our exploration of solitude, we now travel back to 17th century France to meet Blaise Pascal, a man whose insights remain as relevant today as they were in his time. Pascal was a true polymath, contributing to mathematics, physics, and philosophy. He was deeply religious, and his philosophical work is characterized by a deep exploration of human nature, morality, and belief. Pascal's thoughts on this subject are famously encapsulated in one of his most quoted lines: "All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone." It's a bold statement, but one that reveals a lot about Pascal's view on solitude and the human condition. To Pascal, our discomfort with being alone, our constant need for diversion and distraction, is a symptom of our dissatisfaction with ourselves. We seek constant activity and company to avoid confronting our own thoughts and feelings. This inability to sit quietly in a room alone, according to Pascal, is the root of many human problems, as it leads us to make poor decisions, act impulsively, and depend excessively on others for our happiness and self-worth. Pascal's perspective invites us to reconsider our relationship with solitude. He suggests that if we can become comfortable with being alone, if we can learn to sit quietly in a room without distraction, we can begin to address our inner conflicts, gain a clearer understanding of ourselves, and make more considered decisions. Consider this passage from Pascal's Pensées. "I have discovered that all the unhappiness of men arises from one single fact, that they cannot stay quietly in their own chamber." Here, Pascal echoes his earlier sentiment, linking human unhappiness to our inability to tolerate solitude. To Pascal, the capacity to sit quietly alone is not just a skill, it's a gateway to self-understanding, contentment, and ultimately to personal growth. From Pascal's perspective, then, solitude is not something to be avoided, but rather something to be embraced. It's a space for introspection, self-discovery, and self-improvement. It's a chance to confront our fears, to challenge our assumptions, and to better understand our desires and motivations. As we venture further into the psychological realm, we encounter Carl Jung, a Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst who founded analytical psychology. Jung's work has had a significant influence on psychology, philosophy, anthropology, and even the arts. His theories on the collective unconscious, archetypes, and the process of individuation continue to shape our understanding of the human mind. Central to Jung's psychological framework is the concept of individuation, the process through which individuals develop into their unique inborn potential. It's a journey towards self-realization, a transformation that allows us to integrate our conscious and unconscious elements and achieve wholeness. And in this transformative journey, solitude plays a crucial role. Jung believed that solitude provides the space necessary for introspection and self-reflection, two essential elements. In the process of individuation, it's in solitude that we can confront our shadow, the unconscious part of our personality that we often deny or ignore. It's in solitude that we can engage with our inner world, exploring our thoughts, feelings, dreams, and unconscious elements. Consider this quote from Jung: "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely." This statement underscores the challenge inherent in the process of individuation, a journey that requires us to confront and accept all parts of ourselves, even those we might prefer to deny or suppress. Solitude provides the space for this, challenging yet rewarding inner work. Jung also wrote, "Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darknesses of other people." This quote underscores the importance of self-awareness and self-understanding in navigating our relationships with others. By confronting our own inner darkness in solitude, we can better understand and empathize with the struggles of others. Jung's concept of the shadow is particularly relevant to our exploration of solitude. In Jungian psychology, the shadow is an unconscious aspect of the personality which the conscious ego does not identify with. In other words, it's the part of us that we fail to see or know. This shadow can consist of everything that we have repressed, neglected, or ignored. In the quietness of solitude, we can invite our shadow into consciousness, allow it to emerge from the dark corners of our psyche, and acknowledge its presence. This is no easy task. It requires courage, patience, and a willingness to face uncomfortable truths about ourselves. Yet, it is a necessary step towards achieving a more complete and authentic self-understanding. Jung believed that until we have made the unconscious conscious, it will direct our life, and we will call it fate. By confronting and integrating our shadow in solitude, we can seize control of our destiny, transforming what was once unconscious into a conscious, acknowledged part of our being. In solitude, we also have the opportunity to engage with our dreams, another significant aspect of Jung's theory. Dreams, according to Jung, are a way of communicating with our unconscious. They offer symbolic representations of our inner conflicts, desires, and potentialities. In the silence of solitude, we can reflect on our dreams, decode their symbols, and gain insights into our unconscious self. Finally, let's consider another insightful quote from Jung. "Solitude is for me a fount of healing, which makes my life worth living." Here, Jung acknowledges the therapeutic potential of solitude. It's in solitude that we can nurse our psychological wounds, heal our fragmented self, and cultivate a healthier, more balanced psyche. As we reflect on Jung's perspective, we see that solitude is not merely a state of being alone. It's an enriching space for introspection, self-discovery, and personal growth. It's a sacred territory where we can engage with our unconscious, confront our shadow, and embark on the journey of individuation. Now, let's dive into the works of Jordan Peterson, a renowned Canadian psychologist and professor. Peterson has gained widespread recognition for his insightful perspectives on psychology, philosophy, and personal development. His ideas resonate with many individuals seeking guidance in navigating the complexities of life. One key aspect of Peterson's philosophy is his emphasis on the importance of solitude. He recognizes that spending time alone is crucial for fostering self-esteem, maintaining sanity, and developing psychological resilience. Peterson argues that solitude provides a necessary space for introspection and self-reflection, allowing individuals to gain a deeper understanding of themselves and their place in the world. In his book, 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote to Chaos, Peterson highlights the transformative power of solitude. He writes, "If you don't know where you are precisely, you could be anywhere. You're in chaos. It's out of that chaos that new being can emerge, but you have to let go of what you have and perhaps who you are to allow for that emergence." Peterson suggests that solitude allows individuals to detach from external distractions and delve into the depths of their being, leading to personal growth and the emergence of a stronger and more authentic self. Peterson also explores the link between solitude and psychological well-being. He asserts that solitude is essential for maintaining sanity in a world filled with constant stimulation and noise. In his article, The Necessity of Virtue, he states, "The development of character necessitates solitude. It is in solitude that the battle with chaos is fought and won, allowing individuals to gather the strength and wisdom necessary to face life's challenges." Peterson believes that by engaging with solitude, individuals can confront their fears, confront their limitations, and develop the inner fortitude needed to navigate the difficulties of life. According to Peterson, solitude can be used positively for self-growth and resilience by providing a space for self-examination and personal transformation. In his book, Maps of Meaning, The Architecture of Belief, he writes, "You are stable and able to tolerate your own limited perspective and the terrible uncertainty that this brings. You remain stable despite your many limitations and in the face of your vulnerability, and you do this so that you can learn and thrive and benefit others." Peterson suggests that by facing their own character and shortcomings, individuals can cultivate stability, confront their vulnerabilities, and embark on a journey of self-improvement that not only benefits themselves, but also extends to others. Jordan. Peterson's psychological theories underscore the importance of solitude for self-esteem, sanity, and psychological resilience. Through introspection, self-reflection, and the ability to confront one's limitations, individuals can find meaning, foster personal growth, and navigate the complexities of life with greater resilience. By embracing solitude, individuals can embark on a transformative journey that leads to a deeper understanding of oneself and a more fulfilling existence. In conclusion, the exploration of Jordan Peterson's views on solitude leaves us with a profound invitation to reflect on our own perspectives and experiences with solitude. Each of us has a unique relationship with being alone, and it is through introspection and self-reflection that we can deepen our understanding of its transformative potential. As we navigate the complexities of life, let us remember the lessons we have gleaned from these philosophers and psychologists. Solitude is not a state to be feared or avoided, but a sanctuary for self-discovery, personal growth, and psychological well-being. It is in the quiet moments of solitude that we can confront our inner conflicts, embrace our vulnerabilities, and forge a path towards a more authentic and fulfilling life. Embracing solitude is an act of courage, an affirmation of our own worth, and the belief that we can find solace and wisdom within ourselves. It is an opportunity to nurture our mental and emotional well-being, to listen to the whispers of our soul, and to connect with the depths of our being. So I encourage you, the viewer, to take a moment to reflect on your own relationship with solitude. How do you perceive and engage with moments of being alone? Do you embrace them as opportunities for self-discovery and growth? Are you open to the insights and wisdom that can arise from stillness and introspection? Reflecting on these questions can help you cultivate a more intentional and meaningful relationship with solitude. In a world filled with constant noise and distractions, embracing loneliness is a radical act of self-care. It is an act of reclaiming your own time, space, and thoughts. It is an act of self-love and self-compassion. Embracing loneliness allows you to listen to your inner voice, to honor your needs and desires, and to chart your own path in alignment with your values and aspirations. As you embark on your own journey of self-discovery, remember that solitude is not a sign of weakness or isolation, but a powerful tool for personal growth and self-empowerment. Embrace the gift of solitude and allow it to guide you on a path of self-discovery, self-acceptance, and self-realization. May you embrace solitude as a friend, a companion on your journey of self-discovery. May you find solace, inspiration, and resilience within its depths. And may the wisdom of these philosophers and psychologists continue to guide you as you navigate the vast landscapes of the self.